Here,
This conference
and
will
there
now
we
be
go. So we are
recorded.
now recording, so please keep that in mind that we're recording this, and I turn it over to the chair to start the meeting.
Okay, we will call the meeting to order, and we normally have 7 members. However, tonight, right now, we only have 4. So we do have a few regrets, being Cassette and Minaj, possibly Sharon, depends if she shows up or not. So the first item, could I have a motion to approve the minutes of February 24th, which is the last time we met?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Thank you, Gloria. And second?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All right, so the minutes from February 24th are approved. And could I have someone to make a motion to review and adopt the agenda for this evening, September 28th? Gloria, possibly?
Sure.
All right.
Yes. Make a motion to approve the agenda for this evening.
I'll
Corinne,
second that.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Do we have anyone who'd like to disclose any pecuniary interest tonight? I don't expect so. Nobody?
No, I don't.
Okay, and the next item, treasurer report. I don't believe we've had any activity at all since February 24th, but Barbara, if maybe you could confirm that.
I'd love to. I'm going to have, whoops, here we go again. Oh, phooey.
We can hear you. I can hear you, Barbara.
Yeah, I've
Sorry.
got, even though you can hear me, I've got in the lower corner, I've got the red microphone marked as being out. But no, I have had no information on the treasurer's report. I guess I was going to ask, am I the treasurer as well now?
Yes, I suppose that was my understanding, that you were secretary and treasurer now. Unless anybody.
No,
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm fine with that. I'll just have to being brought up to snuff on past activity.
Okay, yes. And so I would say just for the next meeting, which I assume we will be having in October if this virtual stuff goes as it seems to be going. Maybe just a week before we meet, send an email to Les, I believe. I don't think it's changed. I believe we still send an email to Les, just asking him to send you a year-to-date accounting for the Heritage Committee. And then at the meeting, you can just let us know if there's any new items on it since we last met. But I'm sure there's nothing new on it since we last met in February for this evening's meeting.
Will do.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so I think this will be a very short meeting because we only have a couple items on the agenda here. The first one being the municipal register. This has been kicking around for quite a while now, I would say probably about a year. And I think that we are now ready to submit this to council. I'd like to do a resolution to council this evening. I've actually drafted one, asking them to add our latest list to the register. And I must say, I've compiled the list that everyone submitted, and I've merged them all together, and we've come up with 190 new properties. Yes, 191 new properties. Yeah, so it's quite a list. And there's actually 2 zones in Mono that have not been completed yet. Corinne has offered to do the northeast corner of Mono, which is great. Thank you, Corinne. And I think you had said you would try and do that around Thanksgiving. Was that right? Or before Thanksgiving? What was your schedule on that?
That wasn't me actually who volunteered for that.
Oh, it wasn't? Oh, sorry. It must have been Cassette then.
Okay. No, it wasn't me.
It wasn't Cassette either. Maybe it was Cassette. Hold on. Oh, yes, it was Cassette. Sorry. I
That's
made a
okay.
note here. She said, yes, that she will do it ASAP. I've got a note to follow up with her after Thanksgiving. Yes, so I think her intention was to get her zone done before Thanksgiving. So the other zone that remains unfinished is everything west of Highway 10. And I'm just wondering if there's anyone who would like to volunteer to do that. Minaj has not done any. I think everybody on this call right now has already done a zone. So I'm a bit reluctant to ask anyone to have to do another zone unless there's someone who's keen to do it. Anyone?
Well, everything west Highway 10, how big is that?
Mhm.
Well,
What zone is that?
it's 3 roads, right? It's Mono Amaranth Town Line and Blind Line. And I suppose the west side of Highway 10. I'd have to double check that. And that's basically from Hockley Road, County Road 16, all the way up to Highway 89. So it's basically involving a drive from County Road 16 up Blind Line to Highway 89, and then over to Mono Amaranth and down Mono Amaranth. So one big county block.
I
Now,
don't
the
think
other
there'd
thing
be
is,
a lot on that circuit either, would there?
no, exactly. I think it's pretty meager over there.
Mhm.
Does anyone do that drive from Orangeville to Shelburne very often and go up Blind Line?
Don't do Blind Line, but I certainly do that area. If heavens.
We can hear you, Barbara.
Yeah, you won't believe what I'm getting. In any case, if he doesn't want to do it, I will do it. How's that?
That's wonderful. Okay,
What
great.
if we split it? What about we split it, Barbara?
That's fair too.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Gloria,
Shall I
we
leave
talk.
between the two of you? You guys can
Can you
connect
just-
separately.
Or can you divide it for us, Kirsten? What is easier, Barbara? We connect and divide it, or Kirsten
Well,
just divides it for us?
let her divide it for us. Maybe that's easiest.
Let me just grab the map right now and I'll see if it's something easy that I can address it right now.
Okay, good.
Confirm you can hear me because I've got the
Wait, I can hear you.
We can hear you.
I've got a glitch.
Yeah, I can hear you too, Barbara, no problem. 1 second. Okay, so Gloria, why don't you take, unless either of you have a preference, but Gloria, why don't you take Blind Line?
Blind Line.
Yeah, and Barbara can take Mono Amaranth Town Line.
Is that both sides of the road, Kirsten?
Well, I guess, in Barbara's case, it'll only be the Mono side.
Right.
And in Gloria's case, it'll be both sides of the roads. And
From
that's
where to where? Sorry.
from, in the south, you would start at County Road 16, which is, Hockley Road,
Yeah,
all the way up to 89.
okay.
Okay, that's great. And it also includes the west side of Highway 10, but I can do that, no problem. I'm obviously up and down there every day. Oh, and it also includes I forgot about the side roads. Oh, I suppose I can do the side roads. Why don't you guys just do the north-south runs on those roads and I'll do the side roads?
Okay, so I'm Hockley Road to Highway 89,
Yeah,
County Road 6. Yep.
on Blind Line, yeah. Okay, and I will do the side roads. Right. Okay.
Oh, good. We'll get that done. Yeah.
So I think, do we want to, how quickly do you think you guys can do those runs? I'm just wondering whether we should wait and include your runs before we submit the resolution, if they're going to be done, in the next couple of weeks.
Well, I prefer to
I'll
do
have
it
mine
when
done
the
in 2
weather's
weeks.
good.
Sorry? Barbara?
I prefer to do it when the weather's good. So why don't we plan on doing it within the next couple of weeks?
Perfect.
Mhm.
That
Yeah.
would be great. Okay.
I agree. Yep.
So, okay, that would be good. So if you can both email me your list, ideally, if you can, you know what, I will email you the master list that
Good.
I've created in Excel, and then you can just blanket, delete it all, delete all the data, and then enter your own new entries, and then send me your file back, and I'll merge it with the master one. And then we'll be ready to approve the resolution at the next meeting once they've all been merged together.
Okay. Sounds good.
Great. On this new list that we have, the Rosebud Motel is on there. And
It's for sale.
Yes, it's for sale.
I just heard today an interview, CBC, just before 6 o'clock was
That's exactly what I
being
heard.
interviewed.
Yeah.
Yeah, cute.
I wonder what they're going to ask for it and when it'll go on the market. Should be interesting.
Yeah.
So I think obviously I suspect the current owner, I was going to bring up before I knew it was going for sale, I was going to bring up at this meeting that we might want to investigate or discuss whether it should be designated, a candidate for designation. But it is on the register right now. So we could just start with that. And yeah, and once it's sold, maybe we approach the new owner to see if they're interested in designating, if we decide that that's something we want to do. Barbara, you're smiling.
I am. It's not a wonderful location. Well, part of Canada's heritage now, I suspect. So I will go back on my original forget about it.
It's not exactly the most attractive building, but it certainly has become a landmark. So I couldn't believe how many cars and people were swarming around it over the weekend.
Really?
Oh yeah, it was a zoo there this weekend. It must have gone out. I mean, obviously people are interested in it and the diehard fans are coming to see it, but it must have gone out on social media or something because there are just tons of people there all the time now.
There was an article online about the best places to see the locations for Schitt's Creek. That was included.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly give the address, but they did say Hockley Valley.
Interesting. Okay. Well, we'll have to, let's keep it on the register for now, and let's all think about whether it's a candidate for designation, and we can discuss that at the next meeting. Is that okay with everyone?
Sounds good.
Yep.
Okay.
And would that be the sole reason to look at designation is based on the new status it has?
Exactly. That is the only reason. I mean, I don't think it has any particular architectural interest. I'm not aware of any significant history in the community. But it's certainly, one of the criteria is it a landmark? And I personally, I think definitely now it is a landmark. But we can all think about, what defines a landmark and does it in fact meet that criteria? But that would be the only, in my opinion, that's the only criteria that it could fall under, would be landmark.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so we'll defer the resolution until next meeting when we have the last additions. But just FYI, the resolution that I drafted It says the Heritage Advisory Committee requests council consideration of the following, that the council consider and approve the addition of the attached list of 191 properties to the municipal register. The Heritage Advisory Committee deems all these properties on the attached list to have cultural heritage value or interest and confirms that they meet one or more of the selection criteria as set out by the Ontario Heritage Act. But I'll table that resolution again at the next meeting when we're really ready to do it. Ready to approve
Good.
it.
Yeah.
Okay, the next item on the agenda here is the Globe Restaurant designation. I believe the only two things remaining on that are the purchase of the plaque and having the photograph framed and hung in the council corridor. I know that the town has sent the official letter to Janice, the owner, letting her know that the designation was approved. And really now it's just up to us to get the plaque ordered and get the photograph mounted. And Barbara, you took some great shots of that building when we were there that day. And I think, in fact, maybe one of the shots that you or I already took is good enough to hang in the corridor. I think last meeting we talked about getting Peter Dusick to go up and photograph it, but I'm not sure that's necessary. I think we have some pretty good pictures of the front of the building already.
Okay.
Does anyone have any comment on the photography? No? No comment?
I haven't seen your photos, but I trust your judgment.
Well, I'll see if there's a way that I can email them out to everyone. Or actually, I guess, Barbara, you're the one who has them on your computer, right? I might have one.
Yeah, I've got sort of like a PowerPoint that I could forward around.
Well, don't send us a PowerPoint, but do you mind just sending us your best shot of the front of the building?
Sure, done.
And letting us know the file size to make sure it's big enough to print, you know, in that large form. That'd be great. Thank you. Okay, so that's the photography, the plaque. We need to come up with the wording for the plaque. Obviously, we'll use the same template that we've used for previous properties. And why don't I do a draft of the wording and I'll send it around to everyone and you can all comment or make additions to it. Is that all right with
Thank
everyone?
you.
Perfect.
Good.
Okay, draft of plaque wording. Okay, item 3D on the agenda is a discussion Mono Heritage Driving Tour. I've had a few people mention to me that they'd like to see a heritage or architectural driving tour of Mono, and I know we've discussed this a number of times in the past. We do have our little brochure that has, you know, the little villages and the designated homes notated on it. And I'm wondering if we should flush that out and actually make like a directional tour, self-guided directional tour. What do each of you think about that? Whether that would be helpful to people or whether we'd get any takers or interest in something like that? Gloria, do you want to start on that? I keep addressing you at the top of my page, so I start.
I think it's a good idea. And I don't know whether we would do it now or in the spring, probably. I think to get it kind of happening this season, it would be lovely to do it in the fall with the colors, but I think we need some time for promotion and getting the word out there. So probably spring is best, but I like that idea.
That's a good point. A fall driving tour is a great idea. And so maybe we make that a little project next, you know, over the course of the next year with the intention of trying to get something published for next. Yeah.
And now, do you think that we would notify people that we've actually done this so that they could potentially be aware that there would be an influx of people potentially looking at their property, or?
But it would just be a drive-by, right?
As a courtesy, I think we have to
Yes,
give them a heads up.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, especially specifically the owners of the designated homes, to let them know that they will be on a drive-by tour, and that obviously will make it very clear to people that they're not to go in the driveways.
Mhm.
And I guess I think the hardest part about that is getting the word out and making it available and known to people that it even exists. You know, if they come up, I mean, so many people come up and just drive around the country roads looking at the leaves and the forests and so on. But the trick is to let them know that there's actually some heritage homes that have histories that might interest them. And I'm not sure how to get that kind of word out. We'll have to just talk about that. Anyone have any
I think we
ideas
would
on
have to talk about that. There'd be a few different ways we'd want to do that, right? Local media, virtual media, word of mouth.
Mono
Yeah.
website.
Town website, yeah.
And
Yeah.
perhaps it could go out with the tax bills, maybe a note in the little flyer that they send out with the tax notifications.
And there's also that
Yeah.
Mono site that's on Facebook as well. I don't know if you'd actually get some traction from outside people, but I think you also need to broaden your span past just the local people. I think we need, if you
Yes.
look at the media, I say Facebook, that's because I'm old and don't know any other, avenues of social media. But, I think when you hit your social medias and different areas like that, at least you're going to get a penetration into a different marketplace.
Yeah. Yeah.
In the Hills magazine isn't just
Yeah.
for local people.
We might have an in there.
That's a good one.
Might have in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have an in there,
Yeah, maybe. Oh, those are all great
Talks,
ideas.
folks.
Lots of ways. And even just putting the flyers out at the Hockley General Store or the Rosemont Store, where people can pick them up, at other times of the year, and sort of as a reminder that they can come back in the fall.
Yeah, and maybe actually,
And
to
then
your
there's
point, maybe put together just even a separate sheet with that material, just highlighting just a specific driving tour that actually we could add to that material so that it can be left at all of those different places. I'd even look at potentially real estate offices. People stop in there if they're interested in the area. They could look at the driving tour.
Yeah,
good
that's
idea.
a good one. Yeah.
And the winter event
Mhm.
promotion there.
Yeah. Just jotting all these down.
Good.
Barbara, are you getting all of these in the minutes?
I'm trying.
Me too.
Thanks, Barbara. Thank you.
Well, it sure sounds like a lot of ideas. So, okay, that's great. All right,
That'll be fun.
let's think about that over the next few meetings and what that might look like and how to get it out there. Okay. Does anyone have anything new they want to discuss this evening? Silence? No? All right. I think that pretty much covers it, unless anyone wants to bring anything up. All right. Well, then, can I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll adjourn.
Bryn, thank you. Second?
Gloria.
Gloria, thank you. All right, the meeting's adjourned, and our next meeting is, sorry, I guess I should have done this first. What is it in October? Let's see.
I put down the 28th.
October, is that right? 26th, I think. Fourth Monday in October is the 26th, isn't it?
All
I
right.
think so. Yep.
Okay. Then I'll have to make a.
All right,
Good.
October 26th, 7 p.m. We will do it all over again.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everyone. And I forgot to mention, thank you, everyone, for doing all your driver rounds for the registry. That was, I know it's a ton of work, and that was such great effort on everybody's part. Thank you all. Really happy to have that nice flush list to forward to council. So thanks, guys. Okay.
Thank